or shambolic that project was, and whether my idea that there should be no untarred or unpaved road in Ghana in 5 years can be done using the labor-intensive public work or something like it. Mr. Austin, good morning.
Good morning, Bernard.
So you ran the labor-intensive public work some time ago. When was this and what was the project about?
Thank you very much, Bernard, and good morning to your listeners. The Ghana Social Opportunities Project has effectively since 2013 been implementing the labor-intensive public works in 60 districts throughout the country. Now, this World Bank-funded project was specifically designed to support the rural poor household. It was, I think it's obvious to everybody when you go into these rural communities that they are very hard-working, very active during the rainy season, but come the dry season, there they sit about, hungry and willing to work but unable to do anything. So, labor-intensive public works, as has been implemented, was specifically designed to overcome this challenge confronting the rural poor households. So, the first point I would like to make, Bernard, is that the labor-intensive public work that was implemented under Ghana Social Opportunities Project was specifically designed to target the rural poor households. And I can tell you that go to the World Bank and they will tell you LIPW has been one of their ringing successes. Why is this so? It is because for every, let me say, for every investment in either feeder roads, small air dams or dugouts, or what we are calling climate change intervention, which is replanting degraded community lands, more than 50% of that investment ends up in the pockets of the rural poor person. And you can imagine, or if you know that an injection of 1 cedi leads to 2 cedis additional creation of additional 2 cedis in any economy, then you can see what LIPW has done for these communities, nearly 1,000 communities that we worked in over the period of 2012 to 2017.
Are you able to tell us, for example, how many people were directly or how many people directly benefited from this project over which period? Do you have numbers to support your assertion?
Indeed. Altogether, we have invested 85 billion Ghana cedis in either feeder roads, small air dams and dugouts, or we have restored degraded farmlands, 85 billion cedis. And this has generated, over that period, 12.7 million person days of employment for 166,000 beneficiaries throughout the country. And so for each year, when we invest something like 40, 50 million Ghana cedis, we engage between 25, 30,000 rural persons over that dry season. And so for me, it is a project that the government is excited about. It's a project that the new administration has asked the World Bank to do a follow-up project, and in September, the World Bank team will be coming into the country so that together we work on the second phase where we would extend LIPW to 120 districts instead of the 60 we are currently in. So it has been a ringing success. And let me add that this is a deliberate effort to create employment. You will know that for government, the fastest route to create employment is through infrastructure development. It is very slow and not agile if you develop factories, that will take time. But to immediately tackle unemployment, infrastructure is the easiest route for every government. And in Ghana, we'll say a well-designed labor-intensive public works program, for me, is the key. And though we are currently in the rural areas, I tell you, it can be designed for the urban setting as well. It depends on how you structure the design of the intervention. And so it is a very flexible intervention that can be used in the interim.
Mr. Austin,
great and problem.
So you use this for roads and dams and possibly
roads,
houses.
And we have houses. The labor content is low, so we did it in 2012 and we stopped.
So, but it was roads and dams.
Roads, dams, and planting of degraded farms, and that used over 80% labor content. When you get the degraded farmlands, and I can give an example. We have over 200 hectares of mango in the Pro district alone under LIPW. So if they are looking for a factory to process fruits, mangoes, Pro has 200 hectares standing under labor-intensive public works, and those are the additional spin-offs that you get from labor-intensive public works.
Did you have to train the laborers? Because there's a concern that building roads. So, for example, my suggestion is that we can use labor-intensive public works to put pavement blocks on all our untarred roads, for example. Some people think that you need to train the people, but in the model you use, how did you account for skills, like lack of skills? Did you train them, or you just hire the right people?
Bernard, you've had a fantastic question. When we started in 2011, when I was mentioning the period of effective work, I did not mention 2011. We found out in Ghana that we do not have capacity to tease out the labor content in any construction work. It is a careful technical skill. And so we have spent huge amount of money using the Kofodua Training Center. And I can tell you this, from the contractor to the district assembly engineer, we took each one of them through training. And then I will tell you, that is the little things that governments are not doing. That element of capacity building we introduced. We have trained over 300 technicians in labor-intensive techniques. And now we have a cadre of contractors who are able to carry out this work. You need to grow the skills. And I'm saying that it is possible to incorporate capacity building in everything that we do. Let me tell you a story. Recently, I won't mention the name of the organization. They had a huge contract to develop 5,000 hectares of land in Accra Plains. They awarded the contract to a foreign firm. And I was asking, why when we were preparing the agreement, we did not say, take 20 Ghanaians with you, train them, and let them participate in this. That way, we leave within our system the capacity to do it the next time. Unfortunately, because of the cycle of elections, people want ready-made projects to implement. And so we are missing out this major opportunity to train Ghanaian capacity to do things by ourselves.
Okay, so my final question to you, sir. I am sitting here suggesting that we want to... 70% of Ghanaian roads are not tarred. And yeah. I know that it's practically impossible for government using the normal contractor procurement method to tar all our roads in 5 years. Yeah. Could we use a variant of labor-intensive public works to address this gap, where we say we are employing local people in communities to do pavement blocks? Because a lot of the roads in our rural areas don't even need a lot of bitumen. They are just roads that need a vehicle or a truck to move on to the farm and back. Is it feasible to say we will use a variant of LIPW to fix all roads in Ghana in 5 years? Is that doable?
I'm not too sure about the timeline, but what I can say with all confidence is that if we sit and apply our minds to it, we can use labor-intensive public works and many other variants of it to do so many important work in this country. I'm telling you that on authority. That we need to get off this ready cooked packages and think through it a little bit. And every intervention, let's ask ourselves, what can we do to add value to the Ghanaian human resource? If we ask that question, we'll find out that we only have to tweak all the interventions we are doing just a wee bit. And the impact on the Ghanaian economy will be enormous. I am very confident of that. So yes, it is possible to design such a program, but like I'm saying, it has to be designed, carefully thought through, and all the elements taken into account. When we started LIPW, we had to identify Koforia Training Center. It was being used for only roads. We sat with the Ministry of Roads and Highways. They willingly agreed, expanded their curriculum, cover small exam centers out. And so everything is feasible if we talk to each other.
Great. And just a final point. Is the LIPW still is it still working, or it come to an end?
It's closing this September. And like I said, the World Bank team is coming in the country in September. And hopefully within a year, we should get LIPW2 rolling.
Thank you, Robert Austin. We really appreciate it. So Robert Austin was the coordinator of the labor-intensive public works. So it turns out that our ideas are not as far-fetched as they may have seemed. He's not too sure of the timeline, but he thinks it's doable if we set our mind to it.